Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. This is weird, doing a morning video, right? Yeah, I just, Saturday morning, I woke up, looked outside the window, and it wasn't raining. So I bunged some clothes on, and I've come to take Wilbur for a walk, and it's beautiful. Hey, come on. Good boy. And so, I've headed out to my usual spot with Wilbur. There he is. And I thought I'd do an impromptu video about the body this time. So, as I said, it's a Saturday. I haven't had a shower. Just put some clothes on. I feel quite run down after the week I've had. And I have in mind to do very little today and tomorrow, this whole weekend, because I really think I need a rest. Good boy. What are you doing? Want to avoid the puddles? Yeah? Shouldn't have put my new trainers on. And I thought that would bring me to a nice video about the body and how there is an importance to listen to your body and really address downtime as not rest days but growth days. In years gone by, I would definitely not really be happy about taking rest days because I kind of thought it as a day lost doing something productive or a day lost from exercising, when in fact I read a really good article maybe 5 years ago on this. Good boy, Will, come on in. Here he comes. I read this really good article on T Nation, which is an old school bodybuilding website, which has been around since pre-YouTube time, which is where you'd get all your advice from various people and lifters about exercise. And one particular blog post, which was written by a veteran, I'll try and find the link and put it in the description. It was like a light bulb moment when I read it. It was an epiphany for me when he suggested that instead of a rest day, if you look at your down days as a growth day, then you start to really value them a bit more than just a general rest day. Because on a growth day, just like someone who would be preparing for a marathon the next day, or Usain Bolt running the 100 meters the next day, he's really going to do all he can to rest and recuperate so he can perform in his exercise the day after. He's going to be eating right, resting up, and really making sure that he can, give it all on the day that he does work out. So instead of thinking of the day as rest, it's a day of growth. Come on, you're not in there. You're going to die if you go in there. Come on, we'll go this way. On the ball. Yeah? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Still got it. And I don't know if you're like me, but in the past, I found it quite hard to really understand the principles of a rest day because, I love just hammering it, or used to just love hammering it. I wasn't content until I left the gym or walked out the gym, feeling haggard. I could really push myself, There's no point going to the gym, go hard or go home. Well, no, not really at the minute, because if you go too hard, you will actually break and you'll be at home for very many days and months and weeks. But obviously, I've found out over years that that's not true, the whole go hard or go home. Yeah, you need to work out to a level of intensity that, you know, makes change in your body, but you don't have to walk out buggered. You really have to picking up the ball forward, but you really have to listen to your body. And you know what, just even if you're following a program, if it says Tuesday you do this, Wednesday you do this, Thursday you do this, it doesn't matter that on Wednesday, if you feel fucked, you're too tired, you're stressed, you need a break. If you need a break, take the break, because on the next workout, Thursday's workout, which will probably be Wednesday's workout, you know, you're going to go and perform to the best of your ability. Your body doesn't really know what day of the week it is, so as long as you're sticking to a structured regime, you're still following a program. So there's no problem in having rest days or growth days, you know, when you need them. So let me explain a little bit more about the principle of a growth day and what I mean by that. So traditionally, on a rest day, you'll just rest, do nothing, and maybe eat, you know, not as well as you would on a day you're working out. I personally think that I would, prior to this epiphany, I would probably treat a rest day as like a cheat day, when we all know cheat days aren't all that good. They're good to sort of have a rest if you're on a diet, but you know I don't like diets. And if you're on an eating regime that you enjoy, there's no need to really break that protocol, and you'll just eat as you would normally. But on a growth day, now I think about, okay, my body's physically repairing from the exercise I've been doing. I'm going to try and make sure that I get enough calories, not less because I'm exercising less, but as much or more calories than I would if I was training, because, you know, I'm really repairing. I need to refuel my body for the next session. I need to make sure my food is quality so that I can recover and recuperate, you know, to the best I can. You want this ball? Yeah? Ready? It's going for it. I'm going for it. Ready? Go get it. Rapid. The principle of a growth day, when it sort of resonated with me, is when I was like, okay, in the article, I think the general gist of it was that a marathon runner or someone, you know, who's got a fight lined up, you know, a big pay-per-view fight, these professional athletes, let's say Usain Bolt running 100 meters, they don't train hard the day before, if at all. They're resting up because they know that on that day of their event, they're going to need to perform, right? So they're resting up. They don't do extra work just because they've done all their work the previous weeks. But when you want to perform, you perform. And if they need the break to perform, they will. So, you know, that kind of resonated with me. If I'm going to go hit a squat PR or a deadlift PR, bench PR, like this week I've been training, it's on a block periodization program I've got. I'm hitting my lower rep ranges, so nearing my 1 rep maxes. And I've had 3 days off between sessions because, you know, where's Wilbur? There he is. What are you doing in there, Will? I've had what, 3 days off between sessions because I needed it, because lifting heavy in a big compound really takes its toll on your central nervous system, and you need to make sure you're mentally and physically prepared so you can then perform again to that level of exertion and intensity. Will, coming in. So what do you do? How do you adopt this notion of a growth day? Well, you need to assess your body, listen to it, and then create a plan. So you wake up, are you feeling a bit damaged, a bit broken? What have you got on the table today with regards to work? and family life. If you're going to train, will you make the most of that time, or is your time better spent resting? And in some instances, like I have this week, I feel a bit broken. I've taken a day off because I know I've got X, Y and Z on, and it'd be better if I felt more rested, got more sleep, more rest, let my body repair a bit before then going into the session. So it's all about, as I talk about all the time, listening to your body. So cold. Nose is running. Woo. Listening to your body and then adapting to it, rather than being so stringent that you keep spinning the wheels. You're just, going through the motions, not really making any progress. But if you are anything like me, sometimes I get a bit itchy feet, and you need to do something on a rest day. Something on a growth day to, scratch that itch. So you can effectively still do that, but without working out, and certainly not working out to a great intensity. So you could stretch, just take some time at home to stretch, or foam roll those niggles that are feeling a bit tight, knotted, and your range of motion isn't quite there. Or perhaps you can spend the day like I'm doing now, not the day, spend some time just doing some light to moderate exercise, just like maybe get out on a bike, do a little bit of a cycle, or just take the dog for a leisurely walk. I mean, after all, you're still raising your heart rate, getting up. Well, I'm not really doing it at the minute, but you know what I mean. But like just getting out there and doing some light exercise to get the blood pumping, which in turn will help recover your muscles and body. What is it you're doing? Hey? Oh, that's a good boy. You want me to throw it? Or you have to give it back? Give it back then. Wait there. Sit down. Sit down. Sit. You're terrible at this. Sit. Sit. Whee! But what if on one of these days off you're super busy and you still want to get some sort of light to moderate exercise in? Well, then just try and incorporate movement into your day. So say when I was in the office, whatever, I'd take the stairs, or part of my commute I'd make sure I'd walk. Just incorporating these light additional bits of not even exercise, but just movements to help the blood flow through your body will help you recover. I've just come to sit down, bask in the glory of the morning sun. Feels good. Just taking it easy. And basically, there's not much more to say in this, but other than the principle is you really have to assess the situation, assess your body, and play the long game. Ultimately, we want longevity out of our body and our lives. And if you were like I was, you would rigorously stick to your program of exercise on the day, regardless of how you're feeling. You get injuries. And since I've been, training intuitively and listening to how I feel, touch wood, I haven't had any injuries. Because I'll give myself the sufficient rest that I need. It's all about looking at the things in the long term and trying to take each day by day. And again, something that I once heard, I think on a podcast, I think Dorian Yates said this, that if you look at an analogy of the body like a calloused hand, when you work out you get a blister or a callus on your hand. If you keep rubbing at it, working at it, that blister is eventually going to start to bleed, and then you give it a little bit of time to recover, and then you do it again, it's going to bleed. You need to give it sufficient time to callus up, toughen up, and then you can go again. And it's similar in some ways, your body and your muscles, that you're breaking them down with resistance training, but you need to let them repair before you then continue to build stronger tissues that you can work again. And I thought that was a simple analogy. Don't keep poking at the bruise or the cut, let it heal, until you can proceed. Look at him. He's loving life. Well, boy, you having fun? Good boy. That's really it, guys. It's just saying less is more. Don't look at rest days as a negative thing. Look at them as growth days. Try to play the long game. And on your growth days, try and eat right, sleep a lot, rest up, drink lots of water, and treat it like a day that you've got a big competition the next day. Remember, a lot of the training you're doing is maybe 10% of the time, but most of the benefits come from repair, eating right, and doing the things you can do to recover. That's it. It was a really random video. I'm feeling a bit worn out. I thought I'd express how I'm going to treat today, how I'm going to use today as a growth day. It doesn't mean slobbing out doing nothing. It means trying your best to repair. Look, I'm soaking up the sun. I'm going to go home and chill out, and that means hopefully within the next couple of days I'll feel right as rain. So as per usual, guys, that's it. It's just advice. If you found any of it useful or you think you can relate, maybe give the video a like, and if not, come back in the next video, because maybe you'll find something you can relate to. So thanks again. Enjoy your growth days, and take it easy, guys. Get outside. It's super nice today.